Welcome to another edition of Question and Answer with a Criminal Defense Attorney. I am Mark Solomon, a defense attorney in Denver, Colorado, and today's question is, what is inciting a riot? But before we get to that, don't forget to click like and subscribe with a little bell next to it to be notified of future videos. Today's question, what is inciting a riot? We didn't pick this one out of a hat. Actually, this was my choice. With today's impeachment trial beginning, our former president is facing a trial for inciting a riot. What would that be like here in Colorado? What would they have to prove? So let's look at the statute. Inciting a riot is when a person incites or urges a group of 5 or more persons to engage in a current or impending riot, or gives commands, instructions, or signals a group of 5 or more persons in furtherance of a riot. Now, this is a Class 1 misdemeanor, but injury to a person or property then makes it a Class 5 felony. So under the fact pattern that our U.S. Senate is looking at, this would be a felony trial because people were hurt and at least one person was hurt and ended up dying as a result. Therefore, the first question I had is to incite. What does that mean? So the first thing I started looking at was the definitions under this particular section. And there is no definition. There's a definition of destructive devices, funerals, funeral sites, and a riot, meaning that a riot is involving an assemblage of 3 or more persons with tumultuous and violent conduct, creates a grave danger or damage to property or persons. That doesn't really help us to define what is to incite or urge. So I looked at the jury instruction, and this is the jury instruction. The Colorado Pattern Criminal Jury Instructions for Inciting a Riot, which use the word urge and incite apparently interchangeably. So here it says that on the date and place charged, incited or urged a group of 5 or more persons to engage in a current or impending riot and not legally authorized by the affirmative defenses. So I think that under the fact pattern emerging in federal or national news, saying go do something as a riot, I think that would be what they'd have to prove. I'm not going to make my opinion about whether or not the federal case classifies, but I think that is literally the linchpin. That's what the Senate would have to prove, or excuse me, that's what the impeachment managers would have to prove, that our former president actually incited or urged people to riot based on his language, and that's, I think, what's been coming out in the press. So, inciting a riot, that's the question and answer for today. If you would like your own question in future videos, please put it in the comments below, email me or tag me on Twitter, and as always, if you are in any contact with a police officer, you have a right to remain silent, not answer any questions, and if they persist in the questions, you always have a right to say, I want a lawyer.